Hello everyone, welcome to Polymer Science and Engineering at the University of Massachusetts. My name is Bryan Coughlin. I'm one of the faculty members here in the department. The research that really motivates my students and I is when we get into the lab, we think about what new to the world materials we can make and how we're going to make those. We use many different types of synthetic polymer chemistry to create materials for ion transport membranes, for new black copolymer architectures and other exciting challenges that sort of motivate us through collaborative opportunities we have with colleagues here in the department, colleagues we have in the United States, as well as around the world. The facilities here in Conti that you'll see as part of these tours are just outstanding for preparation and analysis of polymers. We have 6 floors of lab space that are full of fantastic equipment and facilities and infrastructure to allow us to do really cutting-edge research in the department. My colleagues and I really fully embrace the total spectrum of polymer science, the chemistry, the physics, the engineering, how polymers are playing an even more critical role in soft material science, and are really still at the cutting edge of science, even though we are now this year celebrating the centennial of the macromolecular hypothesis by Staudinger. So polymer science has a rich history of 100 years and many more centuries to go. As we get an opportunity today, we'll go into the lab and meet some of my students. So we'll grab our PPE and head off into the lab and see what's going on in there. All right, here we go. So the layout of the building, we just came out of the office wing, and we'll move over here into the laboratory wing, which is over 140,000 square feet of state-of-the-art facilities for doing research in all sorts of capacities as it relates to polymer science. So let's head over to the labs. Good morning, Ann. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So tell us a little bit about what you're working on today.
I am working on polymerizing styrene, and this is toward the overall goal of my project, which is exploring how dynamic chemistries can be used to aid in polymer upcycling.
Oh, fantastic. So as a second-year graduate student, tell us where you did your undergraduate work.
I went to Chatham University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for my undergrad. I majored in chemistry, got a minor in math, and one of the reasons that I chose to come to PSE was because of the sense of community that I felt here. So my undergrad was very small, everyone knew everyone, and whenever I came to PSE, I felt that same sense of community.
Besides working here in the lab, what do you enjoy doing in the Amherst area?
I think one of my favorite things about Amherst is the ice cream. There are tons of farms around here that make their own ice cream, so you can go, sit, eat your ice cream, meet the cows who actually made the milk that made the ice cream, and it's just all very delicious.
Oh, fantastic. And what do you think you'd like to do after you finish your doctorate?
I'm still pretty early in my career, so I'm not yet positive what I want to do, but I know that graduating from PSE, I have a ton of options available to me. We will see where things go.
You don't have to decide today, and obviously there's a number of career options. The graduates from this department have gone off to work at major universities, liberal arts colleges, to work in industries, large companies, small startups. A number of our graduates have gone off to work in federal laboratories, and also gone off into banking, law, anything. So really the options are ahead of you. You don't have to decide this afternoon. Good morning, Roshni. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Tell us a little bit about what you're working on here in the hood.
So I have synthesized polymethyl methacrylate using ATRP technique, and we have installed siloxane linkages at the midpoint. So here we are doing a cleavage experiment using 2 fluoride sources, which is TBAF and tryptic acid, and we are studying the cleavage and exchange between the polymer and the small molecule, and we are trying to see the incorporation of the vinyl end group and further polymerizations like graph polymers, which can be used for the synthesis of brush polymers and things like that.
And in addition to the lab work you did, as a first-year student, you took the core courses.
Yeah.
What courses were those, and what did you find them to be helpful for as you moved into research?
So we had three major subjects: chemistry, physics, and engineering, all related to polymers. And they were all interconnected, and they're really helpful during our research field now, because the papers that we are referring to is all of them has references from the topics that we have learned. So it's really helpful during our research field.
Oh, good. Well, thank you for this. Good luck with your experiments. We are in the molecular weight analysis lab. These are our gel permeation chromatography units, GPC. Anne is over at the hood preparing one of the samples that she's made for analysis of the molecular weight in terms of molecular weight distribution, overall molecular weight to determine the outcome of her experiment. So we'll go into one of the other instrument rooms we have here in the building, just down the hall from the synthetic laboratories, which is the facility for nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy, NMR. So we have here Roshni working at the instrument, doing some analysis of some of the polymer samples she's made to see if she's successfully been able to install a functional group at the end of the chain. Well, thank you for watching the video tour of the labs that my group and I use here on the 6th floor of the Conti building to do synthetic polymer chemistry. As you saw, we have ample space in which to do experiments, and just adjacent to the lab are all the instrumentation clusters, gel permeation chromatography, NMR, infrared spectroscopy. Anything you could possibly want to have to do polymer analysis is right here at your fingertips. Thank you all for coming and touring the labs today.